In an era long past, a remarkable age when the divine beings known as gods and the fleeting mortals shared the same earth and walked together amidst the vast landscapes, Ogun, the powerful god of iron and craftsmanship, labored tirelessly to create magnificent and formidable tools. These were no ordinary implements, but mighty weapons and instruments of unrivaled strength and precision, born from the fiery heart of his forge. Despite his skill and dedication in shaping these incredible creations, Ogun's soul was restless and filled with a deep longing. More than anything, he wished for brave warriors, champions of great courage and honor, to rise and take up these mighty tools in their hands. His desire was to see these warriors stand tall and resolute, using his weapons to protect, defend, and preserve the fragile world they all shared, acting as a strong shield against the forces of chaos and destruction threatening the land. Strength, no matter how great, is meaningless and hollow if there are no warriors to wield it. His immense and thunderous heart, once pounding with raw, unbridled power, started to slow and settle as a deeper understanding took root within him. He came to recognize that even the strongest weapons, the sharpest tools, and the mightiest forces meant nothing without hands that were not only fierce, but also masterfully skilled and courageous enough to use them. Only through the union of formidable strength and dedicated, skilled warriors could true power be realized and wielded effectively. Ogun selected Adedayo, a mortal whose spirit was remarkably steadfast and unyielding, someone who exemplified patience and a dedication to learning the fine art of craftsmanship. Through this partnership, Ogun did far more than simply teach the making of weapons. He imparted lessons that went beyond mere tools of war. In shaping each blade, hammer, and shield, he also forged something deeper and more enduring: hope itself, imbuing Adedayo's work with a sense of purpose and resilience that extended to all who would come to rely on those creations. These were not mere objects, but powerful tools crafted for protection, formidable weapons designed for battle, and the symbols of a legacy entrusted to the brave warriors destined to carry their heritage forward through the ages. Ogun, the mighty god of iron, and Shango, the formidable deity of thunder, faced each other in fierce opposition. Once close friends, now transformed into fierce rivals. Their long-standing bond had fractured, their destinies now tangled in a relentless conflict. The battle between them surged with the raw power and unyielding force of the ages themselves, each clash echoing like storms across the heavens and the earth, a tumultuous struggle that embodied the very essence of fire and fury. Shango, the mighty and proud god, let out a thunderous roar that echoed across the heavens and earth alike. Mortals, you who wield your tools and weapons, hear me well. Each time you grasp your implements, you grow stronger and more defiant, your power growing to a point where it threatens the very reign of the gods themselves. This cannot stand, for the dominion over strength and authority must remain firmly in the hands of the divine alone, lest chaos consume all that we have built. Mortals have every right to possess the strength necessary to protect and defend themselves. Yet, he warned with a grave solemnity, the possession of such power is never without consequence. It is a heavy burden to bear. The weight of that strength rests upon those who hold it, shaping their actions and choices, and it is a responsibility that no one undertakes casually or without careful consideration. With every powerful and deliberate swing, Adedayo's spirit grew stronger, his resolve deepened, and his skill sharpened. He was becoming not just a craftsman, but a true warrior, one forged and molded through the relentless heat and unforgiving strength of iron and fire. Each strike was a lesson in endurance and precision, an expression of divine patience and focus that seemed to flow from Ogun himself, watching closely from above, guiding his hand and spirit with unwavering vigilance and protective care. As the sparks flew and the metal bent to his will, Adedayo transformed, embodying the fierce determination and sacred strength of a warrior truly shaped by the ancient forces he served. Ogun's fierce and fearless warriors advanced steadily, each step resonating with the thunder of determination. Their weapons gleamed intensely, burning with an otherworldly, godly fire that seemed to blaze with the very power of the divine. These warriors were not just fighters. They bore the weight of mortal hopes and dreams upon their shoulders. With hearts steeled by purpose and eyes fixed unwaveringly on the horizon, they prepared themselves to challenge and reshape the destiny of great empires. Their march was one of both fury and faith, signaling an unstoppable force poised to alter the course. Arunmila, the revered seer who served as a vital bridge between the divine realms and the world of mortals, observed everything with an unwavering and intense focus. His deep understanding of the cosmos and fate made him acutely aware that the balance maintaining harmony between these two spheres was delicate and easily disrupted. With every movement and decision unfolding before him, he keenly recognized that the future was shrouded in uncertainty, subject to countless possibilities and unpredictable outcomes. Constantly vigilant, Arunmila watched closely, knowing that even the smallest shift could tip the scales and change the course of destiny forever. Every single blade gleamed as if it possessed a pulse, each one alive with an inner breath of vitality and purpose. Every spear seemed to resonate in the air, singing with a fierce, commanding power that echoed through the hearts of those who beheld them. Ogun's craft was no mere creation. It was a profound and sacred masterpiece, a divine work that stood as a living bridge, seamlessly connecting the infinite realms of the gods with the mortal world below. This bridge was both physical and spiritual, a testament to Ogun's unparalleled skill, forging a connection that allowed the celestial and earthly to meet and intertwine in a bond of reverence and strength. These tools are meant to fulfill purposes that go far beyond the mere act of waging war. They embody the very essence and spirit of a warrior, the unyielding courage to stand up and defend what is precious, as well as the deep, hard-earned wisdom to understand when it is truly necessary to take action and when restraint is the greater strength. They carry within them not only the power to fight, but also the insight to discern the right moments for peace, reflection, and protection, honoring the balance between bravery and thoughtful judgment that defines true strength. This mortal power, so bold and unyielding, dares to challenge the sacred and ancient divine order. Will the gods, with all their might and eternal authority, yield and bend before the overwhelming tide of mortal ambition? Or will they shatter and break beneath the weight of human defiance? Ogun carefully handed Adedayo his very first spear, a symbol heavy with the weight of destiny, forged in the harshness of metal and the fierce heat of fire. This was no ordinary weapon. It represented a profound connection, intertwining the fate of the mortal warrior with the divine power of a god, sealing them together in a sacred and unbreakable pact. From that moment, Adedayo was no longer just a man. He was bound by honor, spirit, and divine purpose, carrying on the legacy that Ogun himself entrusted to him through that spear. Every weapon that was carefully forged in the fire and hammered into shape was far more than just a piece of cold, unfeeling metal. It embodied a living spirit, a dedicated guardian watching over its bearer, and stood as a powerful symbol of mortals striving to rise above their limitations and claim their true strength. Each blade, spear, or axe carried within it the essence of determination and courage, representing the indomitable will of those who wielded it to face their challenges head-on and overcome adversity with unwavering resolve. These weapons were not merely tools for combat. They were manifestations of a deeper connection between human effort, resilience, and the undeniable quest for power and self-mastery in a world that constantly tests one's mettle. The roar of battle echoed across the skies as gods and mortals collided with unstoppable force. Blazing firestorms collided with raging tempests, while shining steel clashed against crackling bolts of lightning in a fierce, relentless war destined to transform and redefine the very fabric of the heavens themselves. Under the watchful and wise guidance of Ogun, Adedayo took it upon himself to impart knowledge and skills to those around him. He embodied strength that did not come from brute force, but was born from enduring patience, a steady and unwavering will that stood the test of time. These abilities had been meticulously developed and refined through strict discipline, a relentless commitment to mastering every detail and technique. The courage he displayed was not a fleeting emotion, but something deeply etched into his character. Forged and carved like iron under intense heat and pressure, unyielding and resilient. Through this profound mentorship, Adedayo became a beacon of strength, skill, and bravery to all who sought to learn from him. The mortal realm flourished and blossomed with the rise of fresh new protectors, individuals whose unwavering loyalty was as strong and enduring as the finest, most resilient metal they carried in their hands. These guardians stood steadfast and resolute, dedicated to the defense and preservation of their homeland, committed to safeguarding the peace and prosperity of their people against all threats that might arise. Their bonds to their duty and to their lands were unbreakable, tempered like the very weapons they wielded in battle, symbolizing their enduring strength and unwavering resolve. Genuine, lasting power was never about domination or control alone. Instead, it demanded a delicate balance, a harmonious sharing of authority between the divine beings and the mortal world. This balance wasn't achieved through force or fear, but through mutual respect, a respect that blossomed naturally out of trust, understanding, and acknowledgement of each other's strengths and roles. Only by honoring this shared reign could true power be maintained and wielded wisely. The divine pact was carefully and forever etched into the annals of history, immortalizing the profound and unbreakable bond that had been forged between those involved. This sacred agreement wove together not only mighty tools and weapons, but also valiant warriors and ancient wisdom, all intricately intertwined to create a powerful legacy that would endure and resonate through countless centuries. The strength of this connection transcended time, symbolizing an alliance that was as eternal as it was formidable, forever shaping the destiny of those bound by it. Shango's heart wavered with uncertainty and a flicker of awe. He stood caught between fear and fascination, deeply aware of the extraordinary strength displayed by mortals. Yet, beneath the raw force and fierce determination, he saw something unexpected, a glimmer of honor that shone through their power. It was a delicate balance, the kind of balance that hinted at a hopeful and unprecedented future, one where gods and humans might no longer be at odds, but could instead walk together in unity, their destinies intertwined through respect and mutual purpose. This vision stirred within Shango a complex mix of emotions, blending caution with hope as he contemplated what such an alliance could mean for both realms. Ogun's labor was without end, a tireless and unceasing effort that stretched across time, with every single creation standing as a powerful testament to the will of the divine. Each hammer stroke, each spark that flew from his forge, was a symbol of sacred purpose, a direct reflection of celestial intention made manifest in the mortal world. His legacy was not written in books or whispered in stories alone. It was literally etched and carved into the very hands of the human warriors who bore the tools and weapons he forged. Through them, his influence lived on, not only in their strength and skill, but also in the unbreakable spirit that marked every battle they faced. The impact of Ogun's endless work resonated through generations, a living proof of the profound connection between the divine craft of the god and the valor of those who wielded his creations. Adedayo's leadership was a powerful force that inspired and emboldened mortals far and wide. Under his guidance, the strength of iron was no longer just a measure of physical might, but became a symbol of unbreakable resolve, perfectly matched by the fierce and unwavering fire burning deep within their hearts. This fire fueled their courage and determination, preparing them to stand tall and face whatever challenges destiny chose to throw their way, united and fearless in the face of the unknown. The weapon was far more than just an ordinary tool crafted for combat. It stood as a radiant shard, a fragment imbued with a divine sense of purpose and celestial power. This wasn't simply a piece of metal shaped for battle, but a symbol that ignited an unyielding flame deep within the mortal spirit. It invigorated their determination, transforming their will into something unbreakable. With every strike, the weapon channeled that sacred energy, inspiring the mortal to fight not out of mere necessity, but with a profound sense of honor, courage, and unwavering strength. It was this fusion of divine essence and human resolve that elevated the fight beyond mere survival to a heroic testament of war left behind deep, lasting scars, painful losses, and great sacrifices etched into the very fabric of those who lived through it. But despite these heavy costs, the lessons and wisdom of Ogun remained steadfast, passed down unwaveringly from one generation to the next. With every brave warrior who fell in battle, Ogun's teachings did not fade or perish. Instead, their spirit was forever preserved, immortalized in the hearts and minds of all who honored their memory and carried their legacy forward. Ogun's palace stood tall and proud, its sturdy walls and towering spires casting a watchful gaze over the fiery, molten forge below. This was no ordinary workshop. It was a sacred place where the divine and the mortal worlds met, a symbol shining brightly like a guiding light in the darkness. From this vantage point, the palace seemed to declare to all who beheld it that the destinies of gods and humans were intricately and eternally intertwined, bound together by a fate that could never be undone or severed by time, distance, or circumstance. Each hammer strike on the anvil echoed the unbreakable connection, a rhythmic reminder that their lives and stories were fused as surely as metal tempered in the glowing flames. Adedayo made a solemn and unwavering vow to faithfully uphold and honor the ancient pact made with Ogun, the revered deity of iron and war. He committed himself to wielding his immense strength not recklessly, but with thoughtful wisdom and careful consideration. As a devoted warrior, he understood deeply that true power is never simply about force or dominance. It is intertwined with a profound and sacred responsibility. Every act of strength must be guided by discipline and respect, for power without duty is an empty, dangerous thing. With this awareness firmly rooted in his heart, Adadayo embraced his role as a guardian and protector, dedicated to using his gifts in a manner worthy of the sacred trust bestowed upon him. Even Shango, the mighty god, known for his formidable power and unyielding presence, came to see the undeniable truth that lay before him. It became clear to him that mortals were not enemies or mere transient beings to be overlooked or dismissed. Instead, they were steadfast allies, possessing a fierce and unbreakable spirit as protectors of their own realms. These mortals, with their courage and determination, had earned a place of honor and recognition, becoming worthy not only of admiration, but also of godly respect and thoughtful. Beyond simply crafting weapons designed for battle and defense, Ogun took his skill and creativity further by fashioning powerful symbols that represented protection in a broader, more profound sense. These were not merely tools of war, but embodied virtues, carefully wrapped in enduring metal to serve as lasting reminders of strength. Each of these crafted objects carried with it essential teachings and values, important lessons about displaying courage in the face of adversity and practicing patience during times of challenge and trial. Through these metals and their engravings, Ogun infused wisdom that guided behavior and inspired resilience, making his creations much more than physical artifacts. They became emblems of moral strength and guarded spirit. The very first warriors who served Ogun rose to legendary status, their courageous deeds and heroic exploits echoing through the ages. Their stories were passed down from generation to generation, sung passionately in countless villages, far and wide, as the early morning light broke over the horizon, signaling the arrival of a new era, their legacies marking the beginning of a vibrant and transformative age that reshaped the world around them. Orunmila, the great deity of wisdom and destiny, meticulously wove the intricate threads of human lives, carefully intertwining divine will with the choices and actions of mortals. Through this sacred weaving, he illustrated the profound truth that the interplay between fate and free will shapes every journey. His work served as a constant reminder to all beings that maintaining balance between the celestial forces and earthly deeds is what preserves harmony, ensuring that the world remains complete and whole, never tipping too far into chaos or stagnation. This delicate equilibrium, upheld by Orunmila's guidance, is what sustains the natural order and connects the spiritual with the temporal realm. Ogun's gifts took root far beneath the surface of the earth, sinking deep into the soil, where they formed an intricate network of roots, each one infused with immense strength and profound wisdom. These roots grew steadily and powerfully, drawing nourishment from the rich earth, allowing the energy of Ogun's gifts to pulse strongly beneath the ground. Over time, this foundation of strength and knowledge became the very source of life and inspiration for countless generations of warriors who would rise, carrying forward the legacy that had been planted so long ago. The deep roots of Ogun's gifts continued to sustain and empower them, weaving an unbreakable bond through the ages that nurtured enduring courage, resilience, and insight. These warriors, forged by the enduring strength of those roots, stood tall and proud, their spirits nourished by the wisdom that had been passed down through time, forever connected to the powerful force that had first. The legend of Ogun soared high above the earthly realm, reaching all the way into the vast expanse of the heavens. His story became an eternal forge, an unending source and symbol of both unparalleled courage and boundless creative power. This legendary forge was not confined by the limitations of time or the constraints of mortal destiny. Instead, it transcended both, standing as a timeless beacon of strength and ingenuity for all generations to witness and aspire toward. The initial warrior's journey marked merely the starting point of a much larger saga. Beyond that solitary path, the vast and untamed world lay in wait, eager for the awakening and emergence of countless brave souls who would rise up, their spirits forged and strengthened by the unyielding forces of iron and the fierce, consuming power of fire. Ogun's tale continues to resonate through the ages, a timeless myth interweaving the lives of gods and mortals, the forging of tools, and the courage of warriors. It serves as a compelling story that imparts lessons about the intricate balance of strength and restraint, the importance of patience, and the intertwined fate that connects all who walk this earth. This enduring legend invites us to reflect on how power must be wielded with wisdom, how persistence can shape destiny, and how the paths of many are bound together in a shared journey toward a common future.